Hi, my name is Jose. This is in response to that Facebook request to answer a few questions to be on somebody's Tool. I guess I'm reading over here, documentary trailer. Before I get into the questions, I want to make one thing clear, is that I am part of I think, a small breed of individuals that has had the opportunity and privilege to be in a Tool tribute band. Now, to some, that's kind of hokey, even embarrassing, and blasphemous, if not sacrilegious, to what Tool stands for. But for me, and I'm sure others who have been in my shoes would agree that it's just a different way to experience the music. That said, I'm going to answer these questions. Well, I'm not so sure I would use the word love in conjunction with how I feel about Tool and their music and their message. I think it falls on a much higher plane than love. I embrace it in a way that moves me as a human, as a musician myself. I admire and respect the honesty and candidness of the message that they deliver, and how actually selfless it is, because it has to do with things so far beyond themselves and so connected to the overall human condition, which is probably why Tool always pushes the whole idea of a single consciousness. And I think when you hear the music, when you listen to the lyrics, when you experience how they're expressing it, whether on audio or visual or actually on stage, if you know what they're saying, or at least can interpret it in a way that's meaningful to you, it's far and beyond love. It's an experience that almost has a religious connotation to it. That might seem far-fetching to some people, but I think those who understand agree. When you do experience Tool in those various formats, you can't help but to be compelled and to be moved. I would hope that it would be more than dedicated to Tool's music, and hopefully I'm not splitting hairs. I would hope that it's dedicated to the candidness and humanity that Tool is. And I would expect that the filmmakers themselves have the highest level of respect, the highest level of vision to really portray what Tool is, and perhaps reach those that never understood, or so blatantly throw them into a heavy metal genre, which is so wrong. They're genreless because they never sought to try to appeal to any single individual. I think they sought to appeal to the world and hope that those who agree with their message come and join them in concert. And when I say concert, I don't just mean, going to watch them play. I mean in conjunction and in consciousness with them. And I'm hoping that this documentary will perhaps reach those masses that never benefited from it the way that those of us do, and can take a step outside of themselves and take a look at what we're often afraid to take a look at ourselves. And sometimes the music, the experience of Tool helps us to have a voice in a way that we might not otherwise have. Obviously, I think the initial meaning for some people will immediately be religious, but Tool often makes a joke about these organizations or organized methodologies and mentalities that lock us into a regimen and a bunch of words. So sometimes they use things like that to make it either the complete opposite or perhaps poke a little fun at it. So, Holy Gift may not necessarily mean the Holy Spirit or life, but I think Holy Gift, in terms of parable or parabola, which also seems to be a play on a parable often seen in religious text, specifically the Bible, and the way it's talked about, where we're just temporary in these shells we call skins and bodies, and that the holy gift isn't just the recognition of that, but it's what you do with it, and understand that it's only here for a little bit of time, and that, you know, when you celebrate it, you don't just jump to the top of a hill and scream Jesus and God. You take the small things and you just enjoy what they are, and you make the best of who you are, and don't try to be too lofty, and don't try to be more than you are. That is all. Thank you very much.